But we'll get there. So, best supporting actress.
Okay, well,
nominees were
Amy Adams from The Master.
See, now this is a thing. The Master got overlooked at the BAFTAs, I think.
It's an incredibly overlooked film.
And it didn't get stung. I think it should have been up for Best Picture as well because again, it's got a great cast. Joaquin Phoenix, the Oscar nominee. For
Amy Adams, I'm a massive fan of.
Oh yeah, Amy Adams is fantastic.
Oscar nominated for The Fighter.
That's right, The Fighter.
She
won
an
it.
Oscar for
She won
an
it.
Oscar for The Fighter.
Yeah.
And obviously Philip Seymour Hoffman, who is just brilliant.
Yeah.
You know, he's done. You know, he's been in. You know, what was it Red Dragon?
Yeah.
You know, The Boat That Rocked. He was one of the. I think for some reason he was a superb villain in Mission Impossible 3.
Actually, yeah, dude,
He was fantastic. Brilliant in Mission Impossible 3.
Yeah.
So yeah.
The one thing I'll say about The Masters is it's not
The Master is the golf tournament.
Yes, well, it's not. It's politically proclaimed as like respected,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not seen very well publicly. Like, not a lot of people have seen it. That's the main thing about it.
Especially because there was a lot of controversy about the actual making of the film, because apparently Mr. Scientologist, I can't remember his name, the lead Scientologist guy in America, took umbrage towards the making of the film because it does loosely portray or in some way reflect the creation of Scientology and unquote the kind of cult following it now has.
I suppose.
But either way, yeah.
Alright, so let's talk about the other nominations as well. So we have Sally Field from Lincoln, Anne Hathaway from Les Mis, Helen Hunt from The Seasons, and Jackie Weaver from Silver Lining Playbook. Which was an interesting one.
She was an interesting choice.
Do you think they were just trying to fill a gap there?
Perhaps. But I mean, she's kind of worth a shot.
She was worth it, but in comparison to the rest, no.
Okay. You obviously have Sally Field, who is superb, an Oscar winner herself. A big star, also in Mrs. Doubtfire.
Yeah, and terrifying in Lincoln, absolutely terrifying.
Is she? Yeah. Well, that's, I mean, yeah. You can have to, you take Sally Field with a pinch of salt because she is one of these actresses that when she turns it on can just blow you away.
Oh yeah.
It's her voice as well, I find, is very sort of...
It's very matriarchal.
Yeah.
You know, she can play that, either stern wife or overbearing
Anything she says could, like, even if it was the most trivial thing, would have a sense of authority around her.
Yeah.
You know, sort of like, fetch me my cupcakes. You know, you just be like, okay.
But then you had her cast as Aunt May in The Amazing Spider-Man.
Which was, again...
True, yeah, that was an interesting one.
Because then it shows she can play softball or she can play hardball. But either way...
Moving on! Okay, let's go to the winner then. We have Anne Hathaway. Now, does anyone not see this coming? Let's be honest.
We've all seen this coming a mile off, and if anyone has seen Les Mis, they understand why. She's only in the film for about half an hour. We'll get to that, Edward. We'll get to that. And after, she's on the film for about half an hour or so. But when she's on screen, her performance is just superb throughout.
Oh yeah.
I can't fault it in any way.
At all.
And a big leap of faith by the way to Tom Hooper in Les Mis for when she was singing Les Mis, just to have her slightly off center and just leave the camera.
Yeah.
And that was just all her.
She didn't
it's
stop.
Visceral, it's real, and it's just brilliant.
She didn't have a break. If she made a mistake, she would have to redo that song constantly.
Yeah,
That's
because
just
there is no editing. It's one take,
yep.
and it's got to be done in one take.
I think,
so yeah, I don't think anyone's got any objections to this, do we? Just like Best Supporting Actress. So now the next award goes to Best Animated Feature Film, doesn't it?
Yes, and our nominations are Brave, Frankenweenie, Tara Norman, The Pirates Band of Misfits, or Wreck-It Ralph. And the winner was Brave. And I was not happy about this at all.
Okay, well you weren't happy because stop it, you are not Wreck-It Ralph. But yeah, so because you went to see Wreck-It Ralph and you thought it was brilliant.
Fantastic.
And Brave, well, I think as well, you got to take that into account that, it's a Disney movie, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it's Wreck-It Ralph.
It's a Disney movie, and it's an unusual Disney film, especially because the whole thing is Scottish. And they got a lot of the whole, they got Billy Connolly in, you got what's her name now? Her from Boardwalk Empire, Margaret.
I can't remember her name.
Anyway, and you had the likes of Kevin McKidd as well. He's done voice work in Call of Duty, and he's also in Grey's Anatomy. He's Dr. Hunt. Ethan Hunt's Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible. But
yeah, I was about to say that. But
yeah. And then you obviously, they also had Craig Ferguson in the cast as well. Hosted, what was it, the Late Show in America?
Yeah.
Yeah, Craig Ferguson, who's a very strange American Scottish accent. But yeah, so is it Kelly MacDonald?
Yeah,
Kelly MacDonald. That's the name, Kelly MacDonald. So yeah, I didn't see really anything wrong with it. I think animated film is a bit of a soft category to begin with.
Why?
Because again, it's voice acting.
Voice acting is a very particular skill.
It's a very particular skill, yes. But then, Wreck-It Ralph, I'm sure, is a great movie, and I've seen some great animated movies, but it doesn't hold up to serious acting, the proper method.
You would be surprised, and even in Brave, I do agree, there is bits where you do feel an emotional touch to it.
Oops.
Voice acting alone can create emotion. You don't need to actually see acting. I disagree there.
Yeah, try Seth MacFarlane in Ted.
Oh yeah, that's just classic. That's genius.
Before
we're not going to start fighting.
Family Guy, American Dad, Seth MacFarlane Arena. Brave won. Robert has an objection to it.
I have an objection.
I'm abstaining from my opinion on this because I don't really have one. I haven't seen either of them.
It would either be Brave or Wreck-It Ralph. They were the best out of the ones. I never saw
I
Paranorman.
The idea of making a film called Frankenweenie in the first place is a bad idea.
It's a Tim Burton film. What you expect?
But resurrecting a dead wiener.
Just a point on animated films. I saw one a couple of years ago, and I think you guys must have heard of it. How to Train Your Dragon.
That was a good movie.
That was probably one of the best animated films I've ever seen.
Yes.
And I think in terms of an animated film, and obviously these ones that have been nominated for the Oscars, when you get, you're obviously your voice casting right.
Yeah,
yeah.
I think that won, by the way, that year.
Yeah.
That one.
And when the animation is on point, the graphics are on point, the setting is on point, it really makes for like an all-round good movie. And people sometimes say, it's a kids movie, I don't want to go and see it. It makes for good entertainment when you get it right.
Yeah, it definitely does.
See, when it comes to animated movies, sometimes
how can you give Oscars to a cartoon?
You can. Yeah. It's what you call. It's like you kind of have to put away your beliefs of kind of idea that something has looked realistic. It doesn't. It can be as abstract as possible. Yeah, pretty much. That's the way you've got that.
You have to be more objective about that anyway.
Anyway, let's go on to the next category, which is a big one in my opinion. Cinematography, which is one of the ones I am a bit annoyed about.
Okay, well, cinematography, tell us the nominations, please, Robert.
Anna Karenina, which is okay, fair enough. Django Unchained, which I believe we agree deserves to be on it. Life of Pi.
That's interesting. On, keep going.
Lincoln. And Skyfall.
Is Lincoln just getting nominated for everything?
Yes.
It's an American
To be fair,
it's American president, one of the greatest American directors, starring one of Britain's best actors.
I was about to say it's not nominated for that much, then I looked at the rest of the list and I'm like, yeah.
It's there for I don't think there's a category. I would see if they could have put it in for best animated film.
They would have.
Best visuals. Life of Pi.
Anyway.
Yeah, so in terms of cinematography, a lot of the films look very good. And the Spielberg cinematography, is going to play a key role.
Yes.
In terms of Lincoln, because everything is set very well.
Yeah. I can tell
Django as well. Tarantino has his very own, very unique style of cinematography.
Yes.
It always brings a great effect to the screen.
Which can be described as whenever somebody gets shot, all their blood looks like rhubarb pie.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And it explodes in like a massive fashion. You're like, that's bigger than your body.
It's just so awesome. Anyway, continue, Sean.
And you've got lots of things as well. Life of Pi.
No.
You can't really say much about Life of Pi in terms of cinematography, which is a point that I know that you're going to raise, because about 90% of the film is done on blue or green screen.
Yes.
So how can it qualify for cinematography? Which is probably the really irritating
And
thing.
I'm going to give you the real kicker. Who won?
Life of Pi. Life of Pi won it.
Yeah.
Which is why I know you were a bit miffed.
Completely. Didn't deserve it.
No, I don't understand the decision either. But looking at the other nominations, would you have given it to Django?
I'd give it to Skyfall.
You give it to Skyfall. I agree with you there completely. I would give it to Skyfall hands down.
That was Skyfall's strongest element.
Between superb editing, great directing. In fact, you can't fault Skyfall. It's a faultless movie. There's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
There is nothing wrong.
No, there is. I would totally agree on Skyfall, and I think, you know, especially in Bond movies, cinematography is always under scrutiny. I mean, it's always under scrutiny anyway.
But I mean, the old
Bond movies, it's crucial because Bond movies are so iconic.
Okay, so for costume design.
Costume design, the nominees, I'm presuming, were Lincoln.
Yes!
Les Mis.
Yes!
Skyfall.
No.
Django.
No.
Django didn't get it?
Life of Pi.
No. Two films you will not want to see. No.
Argo.
No.
Wait a minute, Anna Karina was nominated
Yes.
for costume.
And these last two you won't guess, so I'm going to say them. Mirror, Mirror.
Oh God.
And Snow White and the Huntsman.
But they were the same film.
No, they're not. Snow White and the Huntsman is the only one I can actually have a valid reason deserves to have costume.
I have
Snow
seen
White.
that.
Snow White and the
Costumes,
Husband's
yes.
about Snow White and the Husband. Mirror, Mirror is about Snow White.
Yes, but
It's not the same thing.
anyway, the winner for
And
this.
either way, you know, you look at that Mirror, Mirror, Snow White and the Husband. You will
Just
you
be
will not
glad that Zero Dark Thirty wasn't nominated.
Yeah, Zero Dark Thirty was not on this, so let's keep this down.
I don't know if you can nominate a burqa as a costume.
Anyway, Anna Karina was the winner.
Yeah, well,
Which-
it's just a Q&A.
It's a
period
It's
drama.
a period
It's
drama
costume
slash
drama.
costume drama.
So
So
yeah, it's fine.
Okay,
but
fair enough.
I don't hold any objections.
No
It was
objections.
officially a great looking movie, so
yeah.
I hold no objections.
We'll finish off with the big one, directing.
Director, well,
This one came out late
Right.
for me.
Let's see if I can guess these ones, okay?
You probably won't.
So, Tarantino.
Yes.
Oh,
No, actually,
no.
Tarantino wasn't nominated.
Ang Lee.
Yes,
Yes.
Ang Lee was in there. Tom Hooper wasn't in there,
No, he was not.
but you had Ben Affleck.
Sam Mendes.
No, he's not. Not in directing. He's not one of the big five.
Ben Affleck.
No,
Ben Affleck was not.
Sam Mendes.
no.
Nope.
Oh.
Tell me Spielberg was
Spielberg was in it, so we got Spielberg,
Oh.
Ang Lee, David O. Russell from Silver Lining Playbook.
Yeah,
I was happy with that
so
one.
that's three.
Michael Haneke from Amour.
Right. Okay.
This I agree
Well,
because
you told me some of the stuff about it yesterday,
It's
and
all
it does sound
in
very interesting in terms of directing.
it was
Again,
very,
you can't see
it was
the comment.
ballsy. That was why.
And what was the final
And
one?
Beasts of the Southern Wilds, who
Okay,
I
fair
can't
enough.
even pronounce his name, so I apologise.
Yeah, and the director went to Ang Lee, didn't it, for Life of Pi?
I was surprised at this one. I don't think it was wrong, but it was interesting.
Looking at the other options there, I think it's probably the best choice.
Yeah, I mean, I really
I
don't.
think that
I
Sam-
don't
I
want
think
Lincoln
that-
to win another award.
I think that Sam Mendes should have been in there. I think Tom Hooper should have been in there as well, to be honest with you. But again, well done,
Aye.
David O. Russell for getting nominated. Silver Linings, evidently.
David O. Russell, I kind of wanted to win that one. I don't know why. Part of me was like, that'd be quite interesting.
I would like to have seen Sam Mendes up there,
Mm.
because again, Skyfall was just a brilliantly directed movie.
Anyway, since we're talking about Spyfall, and we're going to move on to our own awards.
Before we do that, because actually we're going to have to since in the mentioning of Skyfall, we have to mention the fact that in fact Skyfall won an Oscar.
Yes, it is.
Well, won two actually.
Two, but it's a big one, the one we
Yeah, the
really
one we won is it won Best Original Song, and that was the theme song by Adele.